Hi everyone, good evening. Thank you so much for joining Sukoon's Adda today by Sandeep sir. Um, Today, our host for the session for cybersecurity basics, we have Sandeep Kar sir. Sandeep sir, thank you so much for agreeing to do this session. We are truly honored to have you here. So, about our host today, Sandeep sir is an experienced finance professional with over 24 years in BFSI sector. Uh, Including serving as president at Yes Bank, where he joined in 2006 during its startup days, during its initial days. Thank you, Sandeep sir, for being present with us today. Really looking forward to the session on cybersecurity basics for our seniors.
Thanks, Priya. Thanks so much for that elaborate introduction. I'll then share the screen. So this is about cybersecurity. If you any of you are into Netflix, there's a series called Jamtara. Jamtara, if you have seen, it's all about phishing, cybersecurity issues, done in a very nice manner, and most of it is actually fact. तो उसका punchline है in that series is सबका number आएगा. That is one day or the other somebody is hooked. I don't know if any of you have received any calls, any emails, any communication. Yeah, so Gitanjali madam has. In my own house, I have a very dear relative who is fond of watching Sabdhan India, which is a program talks about all the wrongdoings and scams, thefts, all sorts. So while she was watching Sabdhan India, she got a call and she was scammed a good amount of money because the voice was so nice, so eloquent, and so calming. She felt that it's coming from a bank, and she was watching and giving the CVV number and the OTP number, thinking that a bank is upgrading their details. Okay, back. So I'll just start now. Please do tell me. I am a banker. I'm prone to using jargons or words that bankers love to use to confuse people. But please, if you have any query, if you think something I'm saying doesn't make sense, please let me know. Okay. And of course, questions are welcome. This is a everyday evolving subject, so you might ask something which I may not be able to have an answer right now. I'll come back to you in case that be the issue. So first is we have divided into five parts. First is the welcome and introduction on the subject. Second is common cyber threats that usually you face. And third is how to create strong passwords. Nowadays, whenever you log into something, you're asked to create a password. So what is the easier way to go out of it? Does not mean it sort of protects you from all sorts of crimes, but it reduces the chance. Safe browsing tips, that is when you're using the browser, what are the small tricks you can take care so that or small steps you can take care to reduce the chances of a scam, and then protecting your devices. So first one is, so welcome to the section. Now seniors are targeted by online scams more than other groups. Why is it so? That's because, let's minimize this. That's because, with this changing technology environment, every other day some new thing is coming up. So adults may find at times a challenge to keep up with all the latest changes that are happening today. They're asked to do this, tomorrow they're asked to do that. So sometimes they get stressed out, and when they get an easy call saying that, madam, you need not worry, you just tell me this and this and I'll do the rest of the stuff for you, they feel comfortable outsourcing, particularly if it's coming from positions of authority. They are taking names like Reserve Bank of India, big names, institutional names one is comfortable with. Then there's a tendency of elders to cut short the work and say, okay, fine, I'm giving you the stuff, you do it for me. Second is that older citizens are more likely to trust authoritative figures, and may not recognize the signs of deceit in their communication. So, as I said, most of the scams, when they originate, they come from big names. It's never a small unknown name. It's always some prominent name associated with trust. Third is usually they target people, seniors, who are financially stable. They do their homework very well. They target people who have the money, and those financial individuals are have their reserves down. They're comfortable. They don't think that they are being robbed. They have a natural inclination to trust and cooperate with statements like, I'm calling from bank, or calling from the thana, I'm calling from raw. Even names like raw is taken. I'm calling from sebi. So they get let their guards down, and that's when they're more susceptible. Second, what we're going to do today is spot scams and teach you how to spot scams. In some of them, the scams that have surfaced so far, they're continuously coming up with new scams, but it'll give you an idea of trend of what a scam may look like and what is you should get your guards up whenever you see something like that, either on the screen, on SMS, or on the phone. Second is to browse safely online. What are the 2, 3 small steps you can take? Nothing complicated. That will ensure at least 80% of your sites that are viewing, chances are high that they'll be safe. Third is when you have all of this, then you can gain confidence in using the internet. Now, this one. So this is the picture of tranquility while using the net, and this is what we hope our friends to achieve as they go about their work using the internet. So, what are cyber threats? Cyber threats are tricks or scams used to steal your information or money. Examples. So, what happens is throughout the course of one's work, you will see many a times you are giving photocopies of your Aadhaar, photocopies of your PAN, photocopies of various documents to go about your business as a citizen, submitting in the government or in the private sector. A lot of that is ultimately falls in the wrong hand. There are also databases which are sold. So please do not think you can hide your personal data anymore. What's your date of birth? What's your anniversary dates? Personal data is there for the taking. So you have to manage the personal data, not try to hide your personal data. It cannot be hidden anymore. So there are 3 types we have example we have taken here for this discussion. There are more than this. The prominent ones. One is a phishing email, texts or calls. Phishing email, as the name suggests, the person who's sending these emails actually do not know uh, you very well, but is phishing for details. So he'll send out provokes messages or send out emails or communication responding you to do something on those emails. And when you do that, they collect the information. Second one is a tech support scam. That is second one category you can say scams, of which 2 examples I've taken. One is a tech support, which a pop-up comes on your screen either on a phone or a mobile or or phone or a laptop or a desktop that there's some virus is there, some problem is there. They're going to solve this if you just click a particular button. So when you click that, that's when the problem starts coming. Third one is very used to be very popular in India is the price scams. That is you have won something. All of these have certain red flags which should warn you. One, they'll always come from legitimate companies, legitimate names, institutions like banks, internet service providers, credit card companies, or from government, income tax department, SEBI, all sorts of institutions that you look up to. So the first one example I'm just showing you what a communication may look like. Okay, so this is coming from a prominent private sector bank. Security update, dear customer, we wish to inform that they're basically saying that they're doing some all India, they're doing some account upgrade at their backend. And to do this account upgrade at the backend, so I need to give me some information. So please click the button below. So when you click this button, there'll be requests, there'll be some tabs which will be saying basically you give your certain numbers, certain details from which they will extract data. It can also have virus there. It can also have spams there, which can collect. If it's your phone you're using, it can collect a lot of information from your other apps. This is what one. Otherwise, it looks just like coming from a bank. Second point is these are unsolicited. That is, you have never asked for any of this, nor were you anticipating. It just came to you on their own. This ICICI Bank one has come on its own. It's not that you were having some problem while using the site, some IT issue, like a madam was saying that while using something, things are not happening correct. You did not complain to the bank. Your life was absolutely fine while using the bank app and the website, but they have sent it on their own without any. Third one is that usually they offer something valuable, like a price or discount, and more often than not, they use poor English and grammar. It's not well constructed. So here, the price for ICICI Bank is that they're going to save you from being a victim of online hackers. Second one used to be again very popular in India is from Reader's Digest. That is, you have been selected, you are a finalist, so you have to take certain steps by clicking a link and give us certain information for a lottery of 35 lakhs. And in the postscript at the bottom of the letter is also mentioned that when people receive a invitation like this, like the one you have now, they often decide to discard it, thinking no one really wins. So all sorts of stuff is here. Third is an urgent request for personal information like usernames, passwords, account numbers, etc. And fourth one is they have strange email addresses or typos in the email address and have crazy titles. This is another from Amazon. Amazon reward. So you have to click here on the red on the orange button. Till that such time you click the orange button, life is good. After that, problem. This one where the subject line is has a document for your review. So when you download the document, problems start with your laptop, computer, or desktop in terms of stealing information. So in this particular case, the email ID is also very odd. It's like Google something at protecteddownload.com. These are unusual links which you should not even click. Just delete. This is one which was very famously advertised by income tax department every now and then in newspapers, which basically say that stop the scam, stop the fraud, protect yourself from online scams. Because even websites masquerading as income tax sites have come up. So never respond to unsolicited messages or calls from strangers. Never trust unverified sources claiming to be from income tax department. Never share personal details such as OTP, bank account, PAN, and other details. Never click. This one is something because banks are always saying in so many ads, so many communication that we will never ask for your details over mail or SMS. We'll never ask for that. Still, people give. Never click on unverified links claiming to be linked to income tax department. E-pay your income tax only through official websites. So don't click a link to go to some site and pay the income tax. You type out the proper income tax address in your hand by your hand, and then you pay it. So these are the points for types of cyber scams that are in vogue. There are more than this also. There is one now going on which is called a courier scam. That is, they say that something valuable has come, so you have to just pay a small amount using a credit card, and then everything you'll get whatever. This thing was coming from FedEx. They also take names like FedEx and all. It is stuck in the airport. Only some little money is needed. So all these scams are there now. Even police scams are there, saying that you had a something has happened and your name has come up as somebody who's broken certain law, and now I'm handing it over to the officer who's from CBI, and he's going to ask you, and all the entire racket is there over phone, email, SMS. All of them, end of the session, they're going to ask you for some information about your credit card, your bank details, your personal details. So we are all good so far, I guess. Then we come to this creating strong passwords. Why are passwords needed? Because many a times when you log into sites, they ask for certain passwords. So how should we? What are the things we should keep in mind? At least make it what usually happens, just because people think they are going to forget their passwords, they make it very convenient. Things easy to remember: their landline phone numbers, mobile phone numbers, birth dates, anniversary dates, son birthday, daughter's birthday, things which are easily known to them, or they will not forget in a hurry. Not known to them, not forget in a hurry. Uh, Avoid that. Put at least 12 characters long, mix with uppercase, lowercase numbers and symbols. Uh, in fact, in most websites nowadays, they don't allow you to proceed unless you make these mixes. And there is something called a password manager, which is also available. There are apps which generate password and store the password. Some of them are very good. So what should your password be look like? Whenever nowadays you go and create a password, usually have a screen like this. And while they allow so good weak passwords, very weak is almost never allowed. Do not go for it. Go for the ones for which the entire screen by the bottom of that tab it becomes green, saying that it's great. You should go ahead for this password. Now I'm going to come to two-factor authentication, which anybody is using a credit card is actually participating in. That is, you give your card details, your CVV, and then you give a secondary password, which is an OTP, which comes to your mobile. Many countries do not have the requirement of two-factor authentication. That is why when people residents of United States they try to use our websites for buying or any transaction, it doesn't go through because they do not have the second authentication, which is necessitated and mandatory requirement in India now. Earlier, it was not required. Now it is required. Apart from that, in other transactions also, there is no mandatory requirement, non-banking transactions, but there's a choice. Often there's a choice, even in when you log into Facebook, LinkedIn, even social media accounts, which they ask you that would you like a two-factor authentication or not, and slowly they're making it mandatory. It is good to have a two-factor authentication, which means there's a double check. So even if somebody has your one password, the other one will block that person's access to your account. Two-factor authentication is a system that requires two distinct forms of identification in order to access something. I hope I'm not going too fast. Priya, is the speed okay? Am I going too fast?
No, no, it's fine.
Please
Okay.
ask the audience.
Oh, okay.
Perfect.
Okay,
It's all
fine.
right.
So
Good.
now,
All is good. It's good.
There's so much
okay.
to absorb, sir. That's
No,
why we are.
I hope I'm being, yeah. So you can, my diction is not that good. So I was wondering whether I'm making
No, it's
proper sense
perfect.
or not. Okay.
Yes,
So now
yes.
is how to browse safely. There are two things basically at the out. There are many steps to check, but I'm not getting into that. I'm getting into just the preliminary stuff. That is always look for an HTTPS at the beginning of the website URL. That is, every website has an address, which is known as an URL. When the website starts before www, to the left of that there is always an HTTP or HTTPS. Ensure that there is always HTTPS in the website where you're going to give any information, credit card or personal details, and that there is also a padlock icon in the browser address bar. I'll give you an example. I'll show an example. HTTPS. There'll always be this lock kind of thing to the extreme left. After that, there should be HTTPS, and after that, the website. This is the Sukoon website. If you see at the top, there is one padlock. Okay, is it?
Mm,
Can you see it, or is it?
Yes.
Yes, there's a padlock and there's an HTTPS.
yeah.
There would be some website where these two may be missing. That does not mean they're fraud website, but chances are very high. The security is extremely poor there. So even if the site is decent enough, that site can be used by hackers to steal information that is going from your laptop to the server of that website. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
And this is one now computers, laptops, and mobile phones also have their inbuilt security features. So if you try to use one of those sites which does not have a padlock or does not have an HTTPS, if your software is updated, you'll get a screen like this that it will interrupt you to proceed further. Then it will allow you that either you stop this, go back to safety, or there's an advanced button, you can still go ahead taking the risk. So this is a site which is not secure because it doesn't have a padlock, it doesn't have HTTPS. Okay.
So, all such sites not safe. Like some may be okay.
They may be okay, maybe not, but even if the site is okay, scammers might use it to rob information that is going from you to that good website which does not have this feature enabled. It is not always that if those signs are not there, the people who are running that website, they're crooks. Need not be. But it becomes very exposed. All data becomes exposed of the website and of the person or user of the website as is transmitting data, because whatever you're typing in a drop down menu or information in the website, it goes through a process. When it goes through the process, that can also be captured by a third party using sophisticated gadgets.
So what
Even
you're
if
saying is the site could be genuine, but it is vulnerable.
yes, absolutely vulnerable, and it could also be not genuine.
Okay.
The vulnerability is not in question, is definitely not, it is highly vulnerable. But what we do not know is whether the people who are using or owning those sites, whether they are crooks or not. That we do not know. But
Okay.
best is to avoid them and tell them, if you know those guys, just please upgrade to HTTPS and get your thing act in order, and then we'll use your website.
Okay.
And nowadays, it is very rare that a decent website will not have all this, because when you make a website or build a website, there's automated features which it comes with this HTTPS and padlock. So your alert, antenna should go up when you see something like that, or somebody is calling you that, madam, you open this site, or sir, you open this site and give me certain information. There is a table or there is some information they're seeking. So you should tell to that person, why is your HTTPS not there? Why is the padlock not there? It's looking very odd. Otherwise, normal day to day, you will not run into these websites. This will always be prompted websites. Okay, next. See this one. This was a famous SBI communication they used to campaign a lot. It is coming from SBII Bank. II and then BANNK Bank. At first glance, people don't really not think twice. Left hand side, there's a famous SBI logo. And then, okay, it must be SBI. And then again, it says fill details here. To some link will be there to fill details. That is a must. Or if it's come on your mobile, there'll be some details to fill either in the email, WhatsApp, or in SMS. Some requirement will be there which was not there 5 minutes back. Suddenly you need to give all those details. This should, antenna should be up. And see, again, congratulations, now you suddenly got 10,000 from nowhere, and now just fill in these details to get the money. As and when I'm saying this, it sounds ridiculous that anybody would accept. But under certain, when the defenses are down, certain circumstances, one can believe this, and one does believe this kind of message and goes ahead and loses money. It's now order of the day. Every other day this is happening. Now we all might laugh at it and think, who's going to listen to this? But people do listen. And at times this is backed by a phone call that, madam, check your email ID. I've sent you an email. So please, I'm calling on so SBI Bank, so and so branch. Please, you just finish this off, and then I also have a quarter. I have to finish it off. I have to go at 6 o'clock, 5:30, and I'm holding the line. Can you just do it? And if you cannot do it, you just tell me over phone. I'll do it for you. So that kind of, you're in a hurry, you're going somewhere, you're in a car.
Wow.
So you say, okay, just hold on. I'm giving you the details. I've seen this happen so many times. These are always backed by other conversations. So to give the genuinity that, have you seen, I've sent kind of a thing. Because unless the marketing goes on, nobody would believe this. So there's a marketing backend to get people to sign off on such activities. Achha, there's some in the chat. Okay, fine. Okay, we'll come to this. Vijit Das, if you look at it, says already created, then no purpose to provide it. Could be okay. Yeah, okay. Now, protecting personal devices is very important. That is, we often, first of all, we have a habit of using pirated software. That itself is a problem. Second is, if we are having a genuine software, then it requires for regular updates. Now, updates, when you're doing also, you must be sure who's asking for this update. It should be coming from the originator or the owner of that asset. And if it is genuine, then you must update your devices regularly. In phone, it's very easy because basically it's a very user-friendly button that comes in. But on a laptop or desktop, if you're using a pirated software, it probably will never come. And if you're using a genuine software, when you update, there may be some costs associated with this. So you have to take a decision, but all devices should be updated regularly, because nowadays all these regular update patches takes care of a lot of this scamming, which are known, which are discovered. The manufacturer or the manufacturer of those software, they try to keep it, keep various you can say vulnerability patches to ensure that the same occurrence does not happen, which they have already discovered with a large number of users in India. It's a constant process of who's going fast. They discover something, they put a lock, and then the scammers come up with a new logic, a new strategy. Then these guys also then make another lock for that. So it's like what used to happen in earlier days on the lock and breaking the lock, coming with your gun and all. So you make 2 locks, you make 3 locks, you make a chain around your door. So same thing is happening in not in broad daylight, but through technology. And nowadays, you of course don't really hear somebody breaking down, open the door and shooting people to rob. It happens very, very sophisticated manner. And police is there. Most of the polices in India, police jurisdiction in India, have their own cybersecurity cells. But the biggest challenge with police cybersecurity cells is that this kind of scams are cross-border scams outside the jurisdiction of a particular police thana. So you might be in a particular Thana area, you go to that Thana, you tell them. By the time, even if you give all information and they're able to trace what happened, they'll realize that the particular site they're talking of, the server is in Romania. So forget police. Now he has to now go through various channels to at least do anything. Almost it is impossible. So the timing of essence when you go to a cyber crime, if it is timing is of essence, till such time it stays within India, they might try to do something. They have also now coming up with sophisticated surveillance devices and techniques. They're constantly going on workshops. Separate teams are being created. So they are doing a commendable job, but it's a tough task for police force who are having certain jurisdictions, because it is global here. In this particular case, it's all global. You might have a scam who's actually cloning your ATM card. That ATM card will be used in Timbuktu. So who's going to catch whom? Number three is very important, this public Wi-Fi. You're sitting in airport, you're sitting in coffee shops, don't use your do financial transactions there. Best not to do any financial transaction or any sensitive transaction which has your personal data in public networks. We go to the lounge, we ask for our pass, and then we ask what is the Wi-Fi number, and then we punch into the Wi-Fi thinking I'm free mein kar lenge, there's reduced cost, and now I'm very happy about it, and I go to some coffee shop and then I'm use their password. It's fine, but it's open password. Like it can be, even if the coffee shop is people are genuine. In the airport, nobody with the intention of scamming has given you a Wi-Fi password, but there are scammers who can infiltrate those passages and collect data as they go from one place to another. That's for a very sophisticated discussion, but it does happen. Like it's like an old days. You're writing a letter, giving it a post, and then the post guy goes and delivers somewhere. Other person comes in, infiltrates that postal guy and takes the information from him. It used to happen in earlier days. Now the same thing, instead of a guy, they just log into the interface that connects the user to the server and collects the information. And that person who's doing it may be completely in a different location, geographic location outside the country, definitely. So you wouldn't really know what happened. And there are, let me tell you, there are prominent schools which have come up for such is the situation in our country on jobs. These are guys who are graduates, who are engineers. They are taught in schools. Physical infrastructure is there of schools, and there's also faculty. They teach them how to do all this. It is not a childish thing, or it is not a uh, not in a sophisticated environment. These are like going to an university kind of things. They have their targets. They have their group. So it's a different world now. So these are very intelligent people who are working on this. Highly educated people who are working on with the scamming teams. These are IT, you can say engineers, definitely.
Sandeep,
Okay. Yeah.
it's safe to charge your mobiles at airport areas or any other places? Is it safe to charge your phone?
Yeah. As of now, there is no incident of scamming through charging.
Okay.
Till such time you are transmitting data. Till such time you use data, it is okay.
Okay, great.
But as of now,
I hope it won't happen.
I hope it won't happen.
Thank you. Thank you.
No, I just had one thing in my mind regarding this charging, if I could just add there.
Sure.
There is something called as juice jacking. So when you use your mobile phone, when you attach your mobile phone to a USB charger, and if you plug that into a public charging point, just like Sandeep was talking about plugging your device into a public Wi-Fi. So if your mobile phone is being charged via a normal USB cable from a public charging point, sometimes scammers put malicious software in the charging point itself, because if you dig deep, your USB charger has say a couple of pins, out of which two pins are free. So what they do is, the two pins which are free, that is the one they use to extract data from your mobile phone. So the safe bet would be that you carry a power bank with you, you charge the power bank using a USB cable, because a power bank has no data at all. It is just energy. So, and then use that power bank to charge your mobile device. It
Absolutely.
may
Or
not
you use
be
a plug, or you use a old-fashioned plug
or
that is used. Yeah,
old-fashioned. I mean, in
instead of
case you have
USB.
the travel, uh,
Mm.
because currently, if you just Google juice jacking, you will find this kind of a threat prevalent. And although it is not prevalent to the extent of feeling very scared, but still it's a scare. So you never know that you've been what you call juice jacked.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I just wanted to
absolutely.
add that.
No,
Yeah, thank
absolutely.
you.
Point taken. In fact, if you take the discussion further, you will have cloning also. Uh, but I'm not mentioning here because cloning and all that kind of sophisticated software is used for certain targets where the intention is much more than money. There are other stuff going on for day-to-day safekeeping. These are the things you may do, and what Mr. Obvious Dash added is very true. Sorry.
So if you
Yes,
go to a hotel, you should not use the Wi-Fi there.
you can use the Wi-Fi. Don't do any transactions or
Yeah.
you can use Wi-Fi for watching Netflix, no problem. For
Yeah.
WhatsApp, fine. But the moment you say started doing your usual transactions using your card, that is risky.
Right.
Better to avoid.
Right. So
And
then
then
we should
hotels
use
also,
our mobile data.
no, same thing. Problem is the same. Yeah, you can use your mobile data. Yes, yes, yes,
No,
yes.
so suppose I need to do a transaction, financial transaction, then what do we do? And we
Best
are
is to
outside
use
the
your,
home.
yeah, you use your data, whatever capability is there in your mobile.
What about GPay? We can do GPay?
Yeah, but for to do that, madam is asking that you need some power source, some connectivity to use it. I think that was the question, no?
Yes. Yes.
GPay is the app which you choose, so nothing wrong with GPay. But while you're going to use GPay, if you use a infiltrated network, there might be a problem. But don't be panicky too much on this. It also depends which hotel you are in, what is the overall setup, how feel you come. I'll come to that in the next slide, which is put everything as rest, because you shouldn't take all this information and stop doing everything, because it's not possible in today's world. So you have to come and find balance into all sorts of things. So I mentioned is so trust your instincts. If it feels wrong, don't click. There'll be enough enough warning messages, alert signals that it is not correct. You may not be able to prove it, but you will feel it's sort of odd lag raha isko. Don't just abandon. Don't do it. Don't click. Don't click. Use strong passwords. Enable 2FA. Stay cautious with emails, links, and public Wi-Fi. You be cautious. That's all. Even with your Facebook password nowadays, be cautious. And even if I take the example of Facebook, no point telling people that you are now locking your door and going to Honolulu for 5 days. There's nobody at home. You're telling your friends, but everybody's reading it. The dog is there, but he goes to sleep and so and so. His dog is not doing anything in the house. We have just kept it, and one maid comes. You're talking as if you're just. That's what people do. Just talk to their wives on Facebook, and both of them are going to Honolulu. So the entire world is hearing this. So certain basic precautions, if you take, I think you will be enough. But you should be aware of all these things going on. Do not be panicky at all. You have to lead your life also.
Yeah, so I'll share one thing which for
Yes.
me was, I mean, it made me feel that even small, very tiny mistakes can be this. So we were going for a trip, and at the airport, I wanted a wheelchair for my husband because at that time he wasn't well, and I was trying through the phone number that had been given, and nobody was answering. So I was getting a little panicky. So I was trying this, that, so I was trying different numbers and I was trying to see if there's any other number. And I suddenly got one number which said Turkish Airlines. And so I called that number and then I said, I need a wheelchair. But this person was, when you said calming, he was so calming. And in Hindi, he said, Mujhe samajh mein aa raha hai, how anxious you are. And it's your husband. Of course, you will feel anxious. So Turkish Airlines has created this dedicated line for, booking a wheelchair.
Okay.
So no problem. I will do it for you, madam. I will assist you. just hearing him, because I'd been so anxious before that. So I was feeling so good. And he said that the only thing is that a lot of people, they just book wheelchairs and then they don't show up. So
Okay.
it's a big loss for us because we have to spend a lot of money and effort to organize this. Also sounded very reasonable.
Hmm.
So we will just charge you 5 rupees.
Hmm.
Up to that point, I felt good. I mean, it was okay. So he said that. So I said, okay, so how will I give you the 5 rupees? Can I come somewhere and give you the 5 rupees? He said, no. And then he said, I'll send you a link.
Okay.
Oh,
I'll send you a link. And 5 rupees seemed such a small amount.
Correct. Correct.
But I don't know. It just kind of felt too small. Had he said 200 rupees or 100 rupees, I might not have felt alarmed. I felt alarmed because he said 5 rupees. And I said, they'll go through one whole link and all just to get 5 rupees. And so I said, no, I don't think I want to do this. And when I said, no, I think I'll cut the call and I'll see what I can do about wheelchair. And he said, at that point, he showed a lot of anxiety and said, no, 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 don't cut the call. And the moment I sensed anxiety in his voice, I cut the call.
Oh God, that's a very
smart
intelligent
move,
thing you've done.
smart move,
So
yeah.
I was like, why is he so anxious for the whole conversation is around 5 rupees? It sounded weird.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So that was one. The second time round, this time I got this. Now, of course, there is a lot of it, but at that time it had not become common. So that FedEx.
FedEx, yes.
I'm calling from FedEx, and some particular parcel, something has got stuck here, and I was expecting a parcel from Amazon, and it was important. There were some medicines in it, and he said that these drugs that you have been, and your Aadhaar card is with us, copy of your Aadhaar card. This is your Aadhaar number. And there are all these passports and SIM cards and some contraband drugs, etc., which has been found. So I said, so what can I do about it? I mean, I haven't sent it. They said, no, that's what you're saying, madam, but we've had to report it to the police. And so you need to come to Bombay. Now I have a base in Bombay. So I also believe that it's
They
possible.
know all this. Yeah. Yeah.
So you'll have to come to Bombay and you have to go to Andheri police station, etc., etc. There is a case filed against you. So I said, okay, so what do I need to? I can't come to Bombay. So he said that, well, yeah, we understand that's a problem. And we know that perhaps you're completely genuine. But the point is that it's our duty to, we have been told that if any such contact. So up to this point it was sounding okay and not okay, both. And so I was listening to him, and then he said, you have to, okay, so I will connect you with the police station. And he gave me all the details. These are the passports, these are the numbers, this is the address, etc. It's lots of information. I'm writing
Can
it
I can I just
frantically down.
interrupt there? I was
Yeah.
just curious to know when he was
What?
giving you your Aadhaar number, all the four,
Huh?
he gave you all the 12 digits,
Did he give me all the?
all the
Yeah,
12
yeah,
digits, so all
yeah,
the
yeah.
12 digits, and that
All
was
the 12
correct, right?
digits. That was correct.
It
And
was
then
correct.
he's
Now,
then he's saying that
when he talked about the FedEx, did he speak about the airway bill number against which that FedEx
yes,
has
yes,
been booked?
yes.
And yeah,
He gave
so
me one
so
airway
so
bill number
I
also.
correct. Now, usually what happens is they want to prey upon that part of your vulnerability to which you don't have a very easy answer, because that is
Right.
where they will try to deflect you.
And
The
he
moment
seemed
you,
so like, since he's giving me all the
yeah,
information, this is the
yeah,
airway
just
bill
hear me
number.
out. Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely right. See, they need your vulnerability to drift you away. Otherwise,
Yes.
you will not fall by their mechanics.
Yes.
What is
That's
it
why
that
all
they are?
this bolstering.
That's why. Yeah, that's why the psychology part. So
Yeah,
what you have to do next time, or anyone, but now this FedEx thing is becoming very so popular that they are moving away from it, because the
I
moment they
know.
see FedEx and if they
I'm
know that
receiving the call still.
So still, so what next time what you can do is to tell
I
them
just got
that
the call.
no, don't cut the call, because when you cut the call, they might make another attempt with a fresh set of energy and with a fresh set of what you called care. They might
Okay.
become a little more careful. So what you have to do is you just have to tell them that you are not a good prospect for such a scam. The moment you signify this, they will just move away from you, because then
Right.
you are not a prospect at all, right? That is what you have to tell them.
Right.
So the next time, so I know it's very easy to hear all of this, but then
Yeah.
the moment these courier kind scams come in, you can always say that give me the airway bill number. I want to check the status on your tracking website. Maybe it could be a fraud.
Right.
That could be one way to tell them that, look, I am not getting frazzled because you want me to
Yeah.
get frazzled.
Yeah.
The next thing that you can say that I'm not sure whether you've been able to figure out my age band, but my son, who's quite younger, let me bring him in as well, so that we
Mm-hmm.
both can figure out that this may not be true. Now, once you do this broad spectrum effort, the moment you do this broad spectrum, he doesn't want you to go broad spectrum at all, because it's
Yeah.
actually a scam. So
Yes.
he wants to, because doesn't want you to go broad spectrum, because if you
Yeah.
start adding people, everyone
Yeah.
will come with their own imagination, and they will actually empower you to figure out that this is a fraud, which he doesn't want.
Right.
Correct?
So,
That is
so
one.
hear me out, because
Yeah.
I'm speaking from the point of view of a person who's completely I mean, I don't know. I don't know anything till this point. So, so what I did is he said that I said, okay, so give me the number of the police station. He said, no, I will connect you.
Mm.
And the moment he said, I will connect you, yahan batti, that light. I have a sense of intuition. Sometimes I just kind of get it. It was just a flash. But I said, why does he have to connect me? Does he have a actual connect? He said, I can't give you the number. So I said, no, give me the number. I don't want you to connect me. I want to call them. So he said, no, we don't have that system. Because now he was caught. So he said he doesn't have the system. So I said, this is a FedEx office, and they have a direct call, a link, like an intercom kind of thing, where he will call, and he doesn't even know the number of that place. So I said, okay, okay. And the moment that then he said, I'm the inspector, etc., etc., I said, I don't trust you. I've gone for a lot of these. I am a senior citizen, and I have gone for a lot of these programs which have been organized by the police. Such people, such as yourself, who have told me not to believe all this, because he has connected me. How do I know you are the inspector or you are a hoodlum? I don't know who you are. So, and at that point,
Very good. Very good.
he said, no, no, ma'am, you are very right.
Very nice.
You are very right. This is how you should be. I'm so happy that you are saying these things. So, you know what? I will give you my number and you call me. So I said, okay, sir, I don't want to appear disrespecting, but you know what? You give me your number. How do I know it is the number of some inspector or it is the number of some gunda in Dharavi? How do I know?
Very nice. Very nice.
So you know
Correct.
what? You give me your number, you give me your designation, and let me ask my lawyer to find out all this. And then I will surely get back to you, because this is a very serious charge. I understand how serious this is. It's very, very serious. I mean, I want to protect my country. I know I haven't done it. But so immediately he cut the call.
And
But
after that, they must have blacklisted Gitanjali Bagchi from
no,
the
they
list.
haven't. That's the point. I'm not able to understand. They haven't blacklisted me, because nowadays also get this FedEx thing. What is
Yeah.
it that they I still get this FedEx thing, but my husband doesn't get, and I'm kind of very curious to know why. Why are they targeting me for me?
They're doing that gender, balance.
The
No, they're
data
thinking that
analysis is
women are a
not
little
good.
stupid.
Very well handled. Very well handled. Seldom do we see this. Very well handled.
Sandeep,
Yeah.
I have something to share with you. Few days ago, at about, I got a call, continuous call, 4, 5, 6 times on my mobile, and I was resting. So when I went to check the mobile, I saw the name of a family friend, Ashok.
Okay.
Yeah, and frantically calling. So I got worried, and I called back. I called back Ashok, okay, and there was no answer from that line. Only I could hear some background talk. Then after 15 minutes or so, Ashok, the actual Ashok, sent me a message and he said, Victoria, did you call me? I said, yeah, I did, but did you call me? He says, no, I didn't call you. And then he told me about a year ago he had lost his mobile and it was stolen.
Oh,
Yeah. So what do I understand here, Sandeep?
that is impersonation. He is there pretending to be Ashok, and they must have got it their friend list from the
Yeah,
mobile.
he
They've
must be
connected
having.
Facebook to it and dug out all sorts of who's close to him, who's not close to him. He has lost his, his identity theft wise.
So there are two mobile numbers, actual Ashok and the one which was lost, right?
So
So
one,
he
if it is
still,
lost, he should have deactivated it by contacting the telecom operator. That's how you are giving, ammunition to these scammers.
can he still do it now? Can he
Yeah, he
get?
should definitely. Same goes for
Yeah.
car sales. You sell your car, the other guy doesn't change that, doesn't do the name transfer, and whatever dacoity he does, it will come back to the original owner, even if you have sold your car.
Okay, but am I safe now? I mean, after
You are
this.
safe because that matter passed through, but even if he had called you, he had picked up the call. Just by picking up the call, he wouldn't be
No, I
losing
didn't pick
money.
up. I didn't pick up his call. I
Hmm.
returned his call.
That's a great thing you did. But even if you
Yeah.
had picked up that call, uh,
Huh.
depending if it's an international number, then there's another scam related to international calls.
But
I do
it's
not know
clear.
many of you are you getting calls from Tanzania,
No,
or
but this
Vancouver,
clearly,
Malaysia.
Malaysia.
no, but this call clearly showed Ashok's
So
number,
that means it is a number of Ashok, as he has said he had
which
lost.
is
They
being
have
used. Yeah,
paid the dues and kept it alive and using
alive.
it as, as a impersonating, and to they
Can,
contact their friends. They would have said, I'm in distress, I'm in a hospital, please send me some money. Usually
yeah.
what follows is this kind of stuff. And he would have, out of your love for the gentleman, some people would do, some people will check, some people won't.
Okay. Can this number be cancelled from the
Yeah,
stolen
definitely.
phone? So
Definitely. If you lodge.
I will tell the
Yes,
real Ashok
yes,
to go to
yes,
VI office
yes,
and do it, huh?
yes,
Oh,
yes.
lovely.
Just a
Thank you so
possibility
much.
has changed.
I was
Please,
kind
he
of,
should at least make a complaint and keep the copy of that, because otherwise later on, if something happens, he will also becomes part of it, unless he shows that
exactly.
he had lost it and this is what has happened. So it's always good to do that. Please tell him to do it.
Thank you so much, lovely. I was worried. I said, what's going on? Like I
No,
wasn't
no, this is
sure
how
what.
things are nowadays.
I
So we are
know.
coming towards the end of the session. Last question by Sangeeta ma'am, and then we will be wrapping up for the day.
So I'd
Yes,
like
ma'am.
to thank you, Priya. I'd like to just add to Gitanjali ma'am's thing. I got a similar call from FedEx regarding there being some drugs in a parcel that I received. So I was like, excuse me, I never asked for any. I'm not expecting a parcel. And fortunately or unfortunately, I had lost my wallet with all the documents in Delhi in an Uber. So I said, they said आधार नंबर. I said हाँ मेरा वॉलेट खो गया था, मैंने पुलिस में रिपोर्ट कर दी थी, तो हो सकता है आपके पास आ गया, बट मेरे पास कोई ऐसा पार्सल नहीं आने का है. So after that they went numb. I mean, like they were just stopped talking. So then I put the phone down. I mean, I didn't entertain it because
Very
I had
sensible.
lost my documents. So I thought maybe someone got access to it and using it wrongly. But that was it. Like there was no long conversation about it. So that also happens. Sometimes you lose your documents, so people take advantage, no?
Madam, if you haven't lost documents nowadays, your information is anyway known to everybody. They will
Yeah.
tell you your dad's name. They'll tell you your anniversary, special days in your life. These databases are sold. It's
Okay,
easy.
right, sir.
There's different industry working on it. So please assume your data is known and act accordingly. So if somebody tells you about your own data, don't feel that person is safe. It's just that he has come in touch with that data.
Right, sir.
Usually this data is shared to lower your guards down. That you say, okay, this guy knows so much, must be a friend of a friend or some circle or something like that.
So what is a way to protect the data, sir, from
You cannot, no, it's not possible.
not possible?
Sir, can I ask you one question?
Sure, please.
What is DigiLocker?
DigiLocker is an initiative by the government where they are saying that this Aadhaar kind of documents are very sensitive. It's being used all over the country for various citizen services. So they're saying you upload, now you need not carry, you upload. Even if you carry, like Madam has said, she has lost her Aadhaar. So somebody else can take an Aadhaar and show it to a document.
Yeah.
But on top of this, there's a two-factor authentication of a biometric.
Correct.
That is when you do your biometric, your lenses. So that data is also captured here. So DigiLocker has a feature which says you can temporarily lock it. Most people don't do it. You should go to the website, lock your Aadhaar, and so that means nobody can use your biometric data. If you do not lock it, people can use your biometric data by unfair means. Yes. So what you should do, you should lock it, keep it in your app in your mobile, and whenever you're doing a transaction or availing any citizen service that needs this data, you unlock it for the short period. After it is over, you can lock it.
Okay. Thank you,
But
sir.
sir, what if you lose your
It is virtual
mobile?
Aadhaar.
What if
Virtual
you
Aadhaar,
lose
M Aadhaar बोल के एक app है. You can put it in your mobile. You can from there only you can control it when you're locking it and not locking it. Don't keep it unlocked throughout the year.
What if you lose your mobile, sir?
No, fine. It'll need your several steps for you to lock that. But nowadays, if you lose your mobile, immediately contact law enforcement agencies and block it. Block the SIM. That is.
Okay. Okay, then
Okay,
everyone.
sir, I have one question.
Okay, okay, Bella ma'am, go ahead.
हाँ जी सर, इन द शॉर्ट हमें अगर ज्यादा जानकारी नहीं है ऑनलाइन पेमेंट के बारे में, साइबर क्राइम के बारे में, या हम ज्यादा अपडेटेड नहीं है ना, ज्यादा इंफॉर्मेशन नहीं है हमारे पास, तो क्या ये एडवाइजेबल है कि आप ऑनलाइन पेमेंट, गूगल पे, क्रेडिट कार्ड, एटीएम कार्ड और दैट्स लाइक और जो भी कुछ दूसरे हैं, वो सबको आप यूज करना बंद करें और कैश पेमेंट रखे, ऐसा कुछ हम करना चाहिए हमें?
नहीं, एकदम ही नहीं करना चाहिए, बिकॉज अगर ऐसे आप करें तो आप एक साइड में आइलैंड में चला जाएंगे, आप कुछ काम ही नहीं कर पाएंगे नाउअडेज. तो आप थोड़ा 2-3 ट्रिक्स कर सकते हो. दैट इज, अगर आपके पास 4-5 क्रेडिट कार्ड्स है या 4-5 बैंक अकाउंट्स है, एक ही अकाउंट को रखिए फॉर योर ट्रांजेक्शंस, ऑनलाइन ट्रांजेक्शन. और उसका लिमिट नाउअडेज सब अकाउंट में आप लिमिट ब्लॉक कर सकते हो फॉर ट्रांजेक्शन लिमिट कर दीजिए 5,000 2,000. And only when you are doing a transaction, उस टाइम को लिमिट को इंक्रीज कीजिए. Do that like a DigiLocker. Do the transaction again, lower the threshold.
Okay.
So by mistake also nobody can take beyond that. Like you can take a 500 to 5,000, 2,000, 1,000, whatever you're comfortable with. Losing in a scam, so you can keep that. You cannot do away with all this because so in civil nowadays it's not possible.
Yeah. Okay.
Though I do know people without a mobile, they say I'm leading life without a mobile. I'm not. But those are rare occurrences. Those are rare occurrences, but very difficult to carry on day-to-day life without a mobile, without a credit card, without Paytm and all those.
Yeah.
Okay, I
Priya,
hope
up to you.
yes, thank you, sir. I hope everyone's query got solved. Don't worry, we are coming up with more and more learning sessions. And okay, have a great night, all of you. And
Thanks, all of you.
Okay, Priya. Okay, bye.